Hello everyone, back again with me, Imam Saputra from Management Class 22C. On this class, I will explain about sampling techniques. E. Understanding sampling. Technical sampling techniques is also called research sampling technique. The sample is the case is part of the population in the study. As an explanation, the population is the entry object that is targeted in the research, while the sample is a representative portion of the population. The sampling technique itself is divided into two types, namely random sampling or also known as probability sampling and no-random sampling, which is also carried on a probability sampling. Understanding sampling technique according to expert and 1 Sugiono 2001. Sugiono explained that the sampling technique is a sampling technique, and 2 Margono 2004. Margono states the sampling technique is a way to identify that means the number of sampling the will be used as the taker taking into account the characteristic and distribution of the population so that it can be true representative. And 3. Signet 1965. According to the SCI, sampling technique is a technique for taking samples that meet characteristics such as can be trusted to describe the interpopulation studies. Simple can determine precision by determining the standard deviation of the estimation obtained. Can provide a lot of information at relatively small cost. B. Purpose of sampling technique. Technique sampling has objectives including obtain data relevant to research, provide information related to the population, use it as a reference for drawing conclusion, suggestion, and decision after the research is carried out. C. Variation sampling. Variation sampling techniques as has been explained. Sampling techniques are divided into two, namely probability sampling and non-probability sampling. The following are variance sampling techniques and examples. Probability sampling is a sampling with the assumption all samples have an equal chance of becoming research objective. This technique is a quantitative research sampling technique. The probability sampling is divided into five types, namely is one simple random sampling. Simple random sampling. The simple random sampling technique is a technique that is carried out by explaining that all members of the population have the same opportunity to be used as research samples. The way to drive is by lottery number. 2. Systematic random sampling. The second type is a systematic random sampling. According to a certain pattern, generally the pattern used by this technique is to take interval or multiples of the population sized by the number of samples to be selected. An experiment of this type of sampling technique for experiment is that 10 out of 100 people will be selected as sample, then every person will is multi of 10 will be taken as a sample. This means these people with number 10, 20, 30, and so on will be sampled up to 10 people. And 3. Start field random sampling. This type of sampling technique is carried out of by grouping members of the population according to certain level, namely high, medium, and low. An example of this type of sampling technique is when condition result of jobs based on a gate. So examples were taken by grouping sample into young, medium, and adult against categories. For random sampling based on area cluster random sampling. This sampling technique is determined based on regional group from the reserve population. This technique will group sample according to the areas of population member or the purpose of using this technique is to find out the difference that exists within a particular area. An example of this type of sampling technique is with the earlier research that will find out the level of participation in general selection in Central Java. From there, the sample that will be used are several regions in Central Java. A sampling technique is step to determine which sample to choose when producing results. There are several steps you can take, including and understand the definition of an observed population, create a sample frame, determine the appropriate type of sampling technique according to the research, carrying out data collection, check the result of data collection take from the sample.